It's kidogo kidogo, but they say what brings down a tree is ants. It's not elephant. Ants are the ones that come and attack a tree until it brings it down. So the corruption by the police should not be taken as small corruption, and the inconvenience that it is causing to the public. Then we are talking of issues to deal with capital projects. People in this country right now, there are a lot of capital projects which are stranded as a result of corruption. One of these, it comes from my home county. It's called Ronangara Utalii College. How many of you have heard of it? It's a stuck project. We are done with the file. We've taken it to the DPP. It's a very interesting file. You look at the entire cost. Almost 4 billion was used in consultancy. Yeah, that's the case. And nowadays there are two things about consultants. Consultancy has become a very amorphous avenue of stealing in government projects. And even in the next 2 years I'll be retired. One of the most common words retirees tell you, what are you doing? I'm doing consultancy nowadays. It's an amorphous terminology. So when you tell somebody you are doing consultancy, maybe it's a witchcraft or whatever, nobody knows. But you can float with that one. So there are a lot of projects that are stranded. We are talking of, I am told of an airport that was constructed in one of the towns as part of Vision 2030. I have heard, I'm not whether it is very concrete, that aircraft cannot land because katikati hapo kuna mlima imepanda namna ile kataweka chini. So those are the kind of things that we are following, and we are trying to do asset tracing, seizing wealth. Something very interesting. One person posted a picture of a senior government officer. He was putting a watch, and that guy told me, CEO, go and Google this watch. I found the price to be $256,000. That watch is 37 million. Yes, 37 million. So, do we go Chinese style? That is how Chinese used to arrest their public officials. They used to take very expensive bribes in terms of jewelry and watches. So if we may go that way, if someone says this is a fake one, we will go to an agency, ayupime, aangalie kama ni fake. If it is fake, we'll leave you. If it is not, we will explain how you got a watch of 37 million. Did you declare in your office that you have been given a present of 37 million? It's very interesting. So issues to deal with lifestyle audit. And ESCC with 700 staff, of which only 200 are investigators. People who will help you to know these people who are putting on expensive jewelry and watches is the media. It's the media, not us. So you can see how your role is very, very critical in helping us. Last, I'll talk about advocating for digitization of government services. That is the only solution. Reduction of human interaction. I know quite a number of you are my age mate. In the early 80s, the late 80s and the early 90s, even to pay for a passport, you'd go to Nyayo House, queue, and you find a seat, jacket imewekwa, jamaa ameenda. Unambado au yarudi, you go back. Nowadays, there is e-citizen, and you can see how effective e-citizen is, and other transactions that use the mobile phones. So digitization is what will help, but a digitization process that will be synchronized to be interoperable. Not in your DCI, this one is immigration. Let's have something under one umbrella. And I think the Ministry of ICT is doing something about that. Then we need to shape the public opinion and also the politicization of corruption. Recently, we arrested somebody and we found a lot of politicians trying to storm into our building. I think that is something that should be stopped. When we investigate people, we don't investigate because of their color, their political affiliation. We investigate them in the form of what is there to be investigated. We have talked about imposters. Zubeda, we have a lot of imposters. What you talked about, the card, they have all those cards. They have everything. They'll even tell you, because of your personality, can we have lunch at Serena? When they come there, you want to pay, they'll say, no, you know, our organization, we are not allowed to be bought lunch, we'll pay for it. So unaingia kabisa kwa shimo tu pole pole hapo. And then they tell you now, instead of reporting to EACC, this matter we can have a look at it, but do you have half M? Then after some time you find another letter from EACC calling you. Say, but silikuwa nimemaliza maneno, what happened? Now, unfortunately, you don't want to tell us, but we can tell. You know, you cannot be loaned a roll of bandy, and then when the guy abscond, you go to the police, you just keep quiet. So as they said, the fellow does not want to say, I bribed a conman. He just keep quiet. But kuna watu walikuja kutoka kwenu, wapi? Where's the letter? Hakuna. So conman is a big problem, my brother, and it's a result of other issues. People are not gaining employment, and people are trying to be innovative. And they say in criminology, criminals are very innovative, or in the wrong way. So I think we need to re-emphasize that that partnership between the media and ourselves cannot be divorced. And my friend, I will request through the chairman, you know, I'm from the military and I like observing the protocols of hierarchy. Through our chairman, let's forget having this type. We can have this kind of forum, but can you pick maybe 20 of your colleagues? One day you come to Integrity Center, we do a complete presentation of what business we do. And because it will be under the roof, you can ask all the bad questions that you don't want to hear, and we will answer you. Because right now you can see I was forcing you to, but don't blame me. I am facing the external auditors who are coming for the closing ceremony. Sasa unajua watu wakasema hii mtu akona madharau, unaona nikwambia saa 9. Then if there's anything adverse more to add, they can add, and then I'll be in more trouble. Because now I want to appear very submissive to them. Now you may force me to miss the lunch. So in general, before I call the bishop, look at this organization and other organizations in terms of, don't make noise to say judiciary bure, police bure, DCI bure, EACC bure, immigration bure. No. Let's strengthen our institutions, and these things will be addressed slowly. There is a Mzungu. In December last year, I attended an anti-corruption meeting in Washington. I was with the Commissioner Mshimba, and one Mzungu came praising certain African countries that they have made strides in whatever, and I told him, look here, one good thing about Kenya, we are noisy politically. We may appear, when you listen to news, you may think the country is burning, but that's the nature of our politics. There's nothing burning, we are used to it. That this country, if there is anything positive about Kenya in Sub-Saharan Africa, we have institutions. And people respect those institutions. You hear other African countries, a colonel aged 37 years has taken over a country, and nothing happens. Those are things which cannot happen in Kenya because we have institutions. You hear certain countries, president has found the power to be too sweet. He's amended the constitution, unlimited now. We can be a life president. And it goes on without any problem. Those are things that, based on our democratic gains in this country, you can never even dream of. So let us be proud of this country. Let us be proud about the institutions. We have challenges, serious challenges, but the good thing is that the clock against corruption is going clockwise and not anti-clockwise. One guy asked me, what's the progress of fight against corruption in this country? And I told him, I'm from Kilifi. Kilifi, there are a lot of baobab trees. I told him, do you know that lifespan of a baobab tree is 4,000 years? There's a baobab tree next to our home. And since 1970, when I could recall, I was 5 years old. I could recall that baobab tree. When I go today, it looks the same. I have never seen an extra branch about that baobab tree. So I told him the war against corruption in Kenya is like that baobab tree. It's moving this way positively but very slow. And it is true. 30 years ago, there was somebody called Auditor General State Corporation. Another old man used to be called Jorobi. Very famous, giving out annual report. And they will say, Poster, this is how theft is done. KPA, this is how theft is done. When you want to go and investigate, they used to tell you, Nenda State House. And you shy off. Today, if you are approached by EACC, would you say you are going to State House? Nobody will comment, will arrest you, and now you start paying legal fees. What does that mean? it means there are gains against corruption, fight against corruption. It's only that we have a long way to go. And to sum up, corruption is like a lifestyle disease. Lifestyle disease does not require one single intervention. The doctor will tell you diet, will tell you exercise. Unfortunately, all the delicious food he will tell you not to eat. Then there will be the medication. If one is not done, you find that you are unable to manage that disease. If all that cycle is followed, you realize that you can live a normal life. I tell people that my mother got diabetes at the age of 41, and today she's 96. So how did she manage to all that? She adhered to the diet and the intervention. So there are quite a number of interventions in the fight against corruption in this country, and one of them is the media. So please help us, and my brother, organize with your group. We agree, you come to EACC, we do a proper presentation, because it is very, very important, the media to be on our side. My apology, I was trying to rush you, but I've told you there are guys who are waiting for me to fry me there, so I'll try to rush there. And with these lengthy remarks, ironically I was accusing him and I've done the same thing. And I would like to welcome my chairman, or our chairperson, Bishop David Ogide. And Zubeda, there's something that I want to tell you. We have noted that when Zubeda became the president, it is the same day that our chairman was appointed the chairman. So there is something you're sharing with us. Thank you very much, sir.